Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today we will be discussing the Finca Insul washed Guatemala from Onyx. There's the box right there. And this is listed as the most modern of the coffees I've purchased. And let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. So if you watched my blind taste test video and ranking, you'll see that this coffee finished last. And that's not to say that this is a bad cup of coffee. It definitely isn't a bad cup of coffee. I think I had kind of some different expectations, and the thing I wanted to talk about most was the fact that it's listed as the most modern, but it came off as the most traditional. It came off as definitely darker than the rest. And when I was doing the blind taste test, that was kind of a bit of a giveaway as to this coffee and why I knew it was this coffee. A very black tea almond sort of taste. But here I am, day 17 of this coffee, a little later than normal, but let's go and take a sip. And what was I getting from this coffee? My first sampling, it was bolder than normal, and throughout the video as well, it was still bold. Some darker stone fruits, plum, and there were some light colored stone fruits coming through, and a bit of tea-like taste to it. And that's, I think, the best way I can describe it, as a bold cup of coffee with a lot of tea to it. Very heavy tea though. And then day 13, 14, the last time I tried this before today, it simmered down just a little bit. It wasn't as bold as before. The stone fruits were a little bit more prominent, and it had a little bit more florals than I had expected. On day 17, I think what's kind of funny is the boldness of this coffee hasn't tapered off any more than it did the previous day. Still a little, I would say, kind of darker than what I was expecting, a little darker than normal. A little bit of the stone fruit has seems to kind of dissipate. We might get some more as it cools down, but as of right now, it's just kind of a surprisingly darker than normal cup of coffee, especially for Onyx. I'll go ahead and put up the tasting wheel right here. And I think the things you'll see from the tasting wheel is that it's a little bit more bitter, it's a little bit more smoky than normal. A lot of saltiness coming through from the almonds. And it had a lot of those fleshy stone fruits throughout the life of this coffee. Even at this point, it's got, you know, the slight stone fruits, but throughout the entire time I was tasting this, most prominent thing is kind of this darkness, bitterness, nuttiness, tea-likeness, and then of course this subtle stone fruit. Not the most clean cup of coffee, not the sweetest cup of coffee, but definitely still had some good balance. Overall, this for the most part has some good balance. It's probably not the most fruity cup of coffee, and those unexpected, unique florals were, I would say, pretty nice. And I think it's actually kind of easy. This might be one of the easiest ones to recommend for somebody. I think people that do, and I say this a lot, like their traditional coffee, but something that's on the higher end of this traditional cup of coffee. This right here, if I was kind of putting this against a bunch of, I would say, average Colombias or average even Guatemalas from other coffee roasters, I feel like that this one would be kind of a standout winner. It appeases traditionalists by having a very coffee-like texture, body, and taste as well, while still having some nice hidden fruits to it and some nice hidden florals. So you get this great balance of what people expect from coffee and what coffee can do. So I think what is really good for me in this is every so often I crave a cup of coffee, like a traditional cup of coffee. Something that is not going to be fruity, something that's not going to be floral, something that's not going to have a lot of different tastes to it, but just kind of straight up coffee. And I think this is kind of perfect for that, because at the same time it's a higher quality cup of coffee while you're still maintaining the traditionality of that coffee. Well, yeah, I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to highlight on this. I'm just probably going to end it right there. If you have tried this coffee as well, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this content, please like. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. But this right here has been a discussion on the Finca Insul washed Guatemala from Onyx. Thank you for watching.